My fiance stole $3,000 from my mother because she said she deserved it. The court gave my mom $10,200 and Brooke lost everything. I, 29 male, have been engaged to Brooke, 27, for 8 months. We had been together for 3 years. I work as a quality control specialist at a manufacturing plant, and she works as a freelance social media manager, which basically means she posts randomly for small businesses and makes maybe $2,000 on a good month. My mother, 58, runs a small catering business, not fancy, mostly local events, church functions, and retirement parties. She has been doing it for 15 years, and it is her pride and joy. Her income is decent, but nothing extravagant. 3 weeks ago, my mother called me crying, her voice shaky, her hands trembling as she told me she had discovered $3,000 missing from her business account. It was not a hack, not some online fraud. It had been transferred with her own login, yet she swore she did not do it. We went through every single transaction, every statement, every possible explanation. Then she remembered Brooke had been at her house 2 weeks prior, helping update her website while Mom stepped out to get groceries. Mom's banking password was saved in the browser because, well, she's 58 and that's just what 58-year-olds do. The transfer had gone to an account at another bank. The timing was perfectly aligned with the moment Mom was out, and the description on the transfer said, "Marketing services rendered." That evening, I confronted Brooke, trying to stay calm, trying not to let anger spill over. "Did you take money from my mother's account?" I asked. She looked me dead in the eye, calm, unapologetic, and said, "I transferred payment for my services." "Yes." I laughed at first, thinking she was joking. "What services?" I asked. "I spent 3 hours fixing her disaster website. My rate is $1,000 per hour for emergency consultations." I felt my blood boil. "You went there to help her as family," I said. She smirked and said, "I'm not family yet, and she's loaded. She can afford it." I glared. "She's not loaded. She runs a small catering business. Please, I've seen her house. She has 2 cars. She goes on vacations." Then came the words that broke me inside. "I took money from your mother because I deserve it. $3,000 is nothing to her, but it's rent for me. She should be supporting us anyway if she wants grandchildren someday." I stood up, my voice cold and unyielding. "You do deserve it. You deserve everything that's coming." I left and went to Mom's house, helping her file a police report that night. Brooke lost her mind when the detective contacted her. She actually thought I was bluffing about the police report, but she didn't know that Mom's banker nephew Garrett had already pulled the transaction records. The transfer had been initiated at 2:47 p.m., exactly when Mom was at the grocery store 15 minutes away, with a time-stamped receipt at 2:52 p.m. The IP address matched Mom's home computer. Brooke had even created a fake invoice to make it look legitimate, backdating it, except she made it in Canva, which automatically timestamps everything. The invoice was created the day after the transfer. She panicked and came to my apartment that night, banging on the door at 11 p.m., screaming that my mother was trying to ruin her life over a misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. She stole $3,000. I asked her, calmly, "Do you know what I usually charge for web design?" She tried to laugh. I reminded her, "You don't do web design. You post Instagram stories for nail salons. Are you expanding your services to theft?" Then came the tears, the pleading. "Baby, please. We're getting married in 6 months. This is destroying our future." I ended the engagement on the spot, showing her the texts I had already sent to cancel the venue, photographer, and DJ. She tried to switch tactics, promising to pay it back. But in our state, fraudulent theft could lead to triple damages plus legal fees. Brooke tried every trick, contacting mutual friends, lying about Mom promising payment, until Mom posted security footage showing Brooke arriving with no laptop, no work materials, just a purse. Brooke then showed up at Mom's catering kitchen during a big event, arguing, claiming she merely charged for her time, while Mom recorded every word on her phone. The evidence was clear: unauthorized access, theft, wire fraud, and attempted blackmail. The court date arrived. Brooke hired a lawyer, claiming miscommunication. Mom's lawyer presented the fake invoice with Canva timestamps, security footage, bank records, police notes, Brooke's own texts admitting the theft, and written evidence from a previous victim. Brooke tried to claim Mom verbally agreed, but the judge asked why there was no written agreement. Brooke stuttered, explained she trusted family. The judge ruled decisively. Mom received $3,000 in actual damages, $6,000 in punitive damages, and $1,200 in legal fees, totaling $10,200. Brooke tried crowdfunding, tried her parents, sold her car, designer bags, and borrowed from her sister. On day 29, she arrived with a certified check, complaining, "I hope you're all happy ruining my life." The lawyer responded, "You ruined your own life when you chose to steal." The criminal case resulted in deferred adjudication, community service, and restitution. She accepted, but could not stop claiming she did nothing wrong. Mom upgraded her catering equipment, hired a professional web designer, and business is up 30%. I am dating Elise, a responsible, thoughtful woman who insisted on splitting the check on our first date, and we've been together 4 months. Reflecting back, the red flags with Brooke were always there. Borrowing money and forgetting to pay back, ordering expensive things, aspiring to be a kept woman. The $3,000 theft saved me from financial abuse and revealed her true colors. Mom says it best. Brooke did us a favor. After the court case, life slowly returned to a new normal, though the shadow of Brooke's betrayal hung over me like a lingering storm cloud. I spent more time at Mom's catering business, helping her organize orders, manage staff, and oversee events. Every time I walked through the kitchen, I could feel the relief and pride radiating from her, like she was finally free from the anxiety Brooke had forced upon us. It was a strange kind of satisfaction, knowing that justice had been served, that the woman who tried to steal from someone she claimed she loved had finally faced the consequences of her actions. Mom, as always, was grateful and supportive, but I could see that the experience had hardened her, taught her boundaries, and reinforced that family, true family, should always be trusted but carefully observed. Meanwhile, Brooke's reputation imploded almost overnight. Her clients vanished as word spread about her fraud, and she found herself desperate for any form of income. I heard through the grapevine that she was now working as a receptionist at a local dental office, earning barely above minimum wage, and living with her sister, who charged her rent. It was a stark contrast to the life she imagined for herself, the life of luxury, entitlement, and unchecked spending that had so clearly driven her to steal from my mother. The same entitlement that once made her claim that $3,000 was nothing to my mom had now left her scrambling, embarrassed, and in a position she had no experience navigating. I found my own life slowly moving forward, piece by piece. I met Elise at a rock climbing gym, and something about her energy, her maturity, and her genuine respect for boundaries made me feel safe again. On our first date, when the check came, she insisted on splitting it, and when I told her she didn't have to, she smiled and said, "I know, but I want to. That's what adults do." For months later, that same thoughtfulness, that same respect for other people's lives, their money, and their trust, continues to impress me every day. Being with Elise is a lesson in healthy relationships, and it makes me grateful for the painful lessons Brooke taught me, even though they were costly. I still think about the day Mom discovered the missing $3,000. I can still hear her voice, trembling with shock, disbelief, and fear. And I think about the evening I confronted Brooke, when she looked me straight in the eye and claimed she deserved the money. At that moment, I realized something I had been blind to for 3 years. Entitlement is dangerous, and people who feel that they deserve other people's money, love, or time without earning it will never stop until they are stopped. The court case was not just about $3,000. It was about holding someone accountable, about protecting family, and about setting a standard that I would never allow someone to cross again. Even now, when I walk through Mom's catering kitchen, I feel pride in more than just her business success. I feel pride in the fact that we fought back, that we protected what was right, and that we refused to let a sense of obligation or guilt keep us from standing up to Brooke. The $10,200 awarded by the court was more than money. It was a symbol of justice, of accountability, and of the power of truth. Mom has since upgraded her equipment, hired a real web designer, and is seeing a 30% increase in business. Every order she prepares, every event she caters, reminds me that integrity pays in ways money cannot measure. Brooke, on the other hand, remains a cautionary tale. From attempted blackmail to fraudulent invoices, from public crowdfunding embarrassment to relying on family for money she never deserved, her choices led to a total collapse of the life she thought she could have. Even the man she was seen with after the case left her a day later, searching her name and discovering the court records, leaving her alone with the consequences of her actions. She still claims she did nothing wrong, but the record speaks for itself. And in that record, every lie, every attempt at deception, every moment of entitlement is documented for the world to see. Looking back, I realized the red flags were always there. The borrowing of money without repayment, the extravagant spending when others paid, the dream of being a kept woman. All of these were warnings I ignored because I wanted to believe in love and loyalty. But Brooke showed her true colors before we walked down the aisle, and because of that, my mother and I were protected from a lifetime of financial and emotional abuse. Sometimes pain comes early, but it comes for a reason. That $3,000 theft was a gift disguised as betrayal, saving me from a future I would have regretted deeply. Mom and I are closer than ever, laughing about the situation in retrospect, but also aware of the lessons learned. We trust each other more, communicate better, and protect one another without hesitation. I am dating again, happier, healthier, and wiser. And Brooke? She serves as a reminder that not everyone who enters your life has good intentions, and that some people will take from you until they are stopped. Justice, accountability, and integrity are priceless, and that is what we now have in abundance. Life moved forward, and justice prevailed. Brooke lost everything she thought she deserved, facing legal consequences, financial ruin, and the embarrassment of her own actions being exposed publicly. My mother reclaimed her business, her pride restored, and used the court award to upgrade equipment, hire professionals, and expand her catering empire. Our bond strengthened beyond measure, built on trust, honesty, and shared resilience against betrayal. I found love again with Elise, a woman who values integrity, respect, and partnership, teaching me that healthy relationships are built on mutual care, not entitlement. Every day, I am grateful that Brooke showed her true colors before we married, sparing me from a lifetime of deception and financial abuse. The $3,000 theft that once threatened to break us became a catalyst for clarity, justice, and personal growth. Mom always says it best. Brooke did us a favor, revealing who she truly was before it was too late. And she is right. That lesson, harsh as it was, ensured that we protected ourselves, held accountable those who sought to harm us, and walked away stronger, wiser, and united. Trust your instincts, stand up for your loved ones, and never allow entitlement or deception to go unchallenged. Because in the end, justice, integrity, and family are always worth fighting for.